Hello, this is Tia Johnson, your spiritual consultant, and today I'm going to talk to you about psychic vampires and psychic werewolves. And the reason why I want to talk about these two types of people is because this is a time of year where we tend to see this the most. For example, with psychic vampires or emotional vampires, these people tend to just take up all your energy. After you talk to them, you're really drained, and you're wondering why you feel this way. You wonder why you had certain thoughts. Well, this is a time of year where people tend to make people feel guilty about gifts they receive or didn't receive, about who's cooking what and who makes the best what for Thanksgiving. So this is the time of the year where people become really anxious and stressed out, and they tend to be their own psychic vampires because they become drained, just worrying so much about where to go for holidays, how they're going to get there, all that other stuff. Not to mention people who tend to put their problems on other people this time of the year to make you feel a certain way. So that's the psychic vampire. Psychic werewolves are a coin that I term because I think that this is a very special group. And I'll give you an example. One year I had visited a psychic. She read my palm, and she was pretty accurate on that part, but then she goes on to say, there's a curse on you, and it was given to me and generations. So it was like a generational curse was given to my family because of my grandmother, and if I were to give her money, which equal a couple of $100s, if I were to give her a few $100s, she would buy candles, do this special prayer. Well, that's a werewolf because they're only special psychics during a certain time and with certain things. They can only really help you if this and this is given to them. Now mind you, I didn't have to buy the candle. I'm going to give her the money to buy the candle, and she probably would have got it from any place. So these are the psychic werewolves. Just like a werewolf, a person becomes a werewolf under a full moon, or they transition to a werewolf given a certain whatever. These people are only able to help you under a certain circumstance, which is most likely ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to pay someone a few $100s to buy candles and say a special prayer. I could do that myself. Now, if she wanted to train me on how to use candles properly and train me on particular prayers, that's fine. Train me, and then I can continue on. But to give her money to do that seems ridiculous. So that relates to this time of the year, because when we tend to be stressed or just drained, we tend to go to people who we believe have our best interests at hand, but they don't. Just make sure that you are aware of the psychic werewolves. They only there to help you if, you know, that if then statement or condition. They can only help you if you pay this large sum of money, and not really help. They can do something for you instead of training you or getting a certificate in a certain course, you know. And this is the only way you can be helped, if you do it the way that they say, or you and your children's children are cursed forever. So just be aware of those psychic werewolves. So back to the emotional vampires or psychic vampires. They're just drainers. They drain you. They're the Debbie Downers of society. So a way to help combat you from or to help combat you against these psychic or emotional vampires is to stop them in their tracks. You know, more or less that they're going to talk about, say they might have a common cold and they're just dragging this on. I mean, that's all you hear. I bought this medication, I did this, and this is constant. You know, it's always something with them. It's never, I had a good day at work today. No, it's always, well, this is what happened. And when you make suggestions like, hey, won't you come out to dinner with us, or won't you try this? No, because this might happen. Okay, stop them in their tracks. Say, hey, you can either hang out with us, be uplifted, or you can suggest something like, if they're going through something, like, hey, you might want to try this. If they say no, don't even continue the conversation. So the first way to combat emotional vampires is to stop them in their tracks. Don't continue on in the conversation. Second, it's okay to show empathy, not sympathy. Empathy is just understanding them. Like, okay, yeah, I see that you are experiencing something. And then you can leave it at that, which follows up is like a follow-up to number one. Number one, stop them in their tracks. Two, empathy over sympathy. Because you show them sympathy, they're not going anywhere. They're going to stay with you. You're going to hear all their life stories, every scrape, every bruise, every heartache, every miscommunication, everything. So again, empathy, say you understand or you can only imagine, something like that, and then let it go. Don't let the conversation continue on. It's okay to want to help. That's fine. But in the case of emotional vampire, they drain, and sometimes they may not realize what they're doing, and other people do, but they don't really care. They don't really control their energy well. They're just spewing this energy of whatever they want to spew out into the world. So that's the second one. Third one, bless them, send them loving energy. You know, there's some people that that's just the way that they are till they realize or want change. They cannot do anything else. There's just like a pattern for them. That's what they know. So bless them. Just, you know, ask the angels to help them with their journey. Send them love and light. And again, go on with your business. The whole key here is to not be with the emotional vampire for a long period of time, because you will become drained. So keep everything short. Okay, so again, stop them in their tracks. You know, suggest something and then don't continue on with the conversation. It's not going anywhere. 2, empathy over sympathy. 3, bless them. That's what you can do. And if it's someone who is like a relative that you live with and you're thinking, okay, yeah, I really can't stop because they're just talk. That's what iPods are for. Plug up your ears, get an iPod. You can do that. You can just walk away, go to the next room. You know, there are other ways to get around the emotional vampire that you live with. So I would suggest that music is very healing, and I'll be talking about that in a future radio show. Music is very healing, so turn on your iPod and have a good day. Next, the psychic werewolves. Now, in regards to the story I told you earlier about the lady who said I had a curse in my family given by my grandmother, which is obviously not true. My grandmother she was very loving. So to combat a psychic werewolf, say no. I did not buy the candles. Don't let that fear play into you. Say no to that. Everyone wants to seek the knowledge, you know, and understand what happens, and that's fine, perfectly fine. But when people start to play on your fears, when things don't feel right, like that didn't feel right. It was just over $200. Paying $200 for, I don't even remember how many candles. So to pay $200 for a couple of candles and a prayer, that's ridiculous. Like I said, I wasn't being trained. I wasn't getting a certificate. It was something she said she can do for me. So with psychic werewolves, if it does not feel right, don't do it. If it just if it seems like it's just too much, don't do it. Psychic werewolves, you can just say no, because they have these terms and conditions. You don't have to adhere to terms and conditions. If you don't have a signed contract, you don't have to adhere to their terms and conditions. Don't worry about it. So those are my suggestions for the psychic werewolves. You do not have to comply. I paid the lady for the palm reading that she did, and then I left the store just like that. So don't let them play on your fears. If it doesn't feel right, it doesn't seem right, it most likely is not right. Okay, so I hope that's very helpful, and you have a wonderful holistic day.